Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody is coming in soon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I need to edit this. Take this banner down. Here we go. Where's that one? There we go. I hope you guys come in soon. I think I'm going to share it out again. It's been a long time since I've done some lives, so hopefully you guys can come in and recognize my live. Hopefully they'll get it out soon. And let me see here if I can get it going. See if it comes up here soon on my channel. Maybe if I go to my channel, I can find it. That's so weird. It's not showing up yet. Hey, CR, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, how you doing, Carol? It has been a while since I have done this. Come on, you. There we go. There's the link if anybody wants to come up. Please share it out. It's been a while since I've done this, and I don't think anybody's paying attention. So it's like Laura doesn't do lives anymore. So how's Canada and Florida? It's been very sunny here today, and we've been working in the sun, getting our chicken coop done. It's like halfway done. So, and okay. Hello, Purple. Good to see you. Yeah. So we've got the chicken coop up, and things are getting better in the garden. Our chicken coop is halfway done, and it's just been a lot of work. And so we're working on that and getting things done like that. And hey, where to begin? Good to see you. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to come up. You have to show your face, of course, but and we've just been working a lot on got logging going on. Oh, okay, I see fishes. And so we're dealing with logging on the property, and then it's been so dry here that our soil is like just walking around. It's like walking on talcum powder. It's that dusty and just really, it's like living in the desert, but the topsoil, it just turns to dust around here when it's been dry for a long time. Even though it's we're still have some dew in the morning and stuff like that, but in the late afternoons, it's just like, or in the middle of the day, it's just like walking on dust, and you just get covered in dust, and you have to take a shower every day. Yeah, super dry. It hasn't rained here in probably 8 days or so. We are hoping for rain soon, and I guess we're expecting some rain on Sunday, and hopefully we'll get an inch worth because we have low water on the homestead, and I'm watering, and thank God we have rain catchment, a little bit of rain catchment, and so we're using that to water our brand new trees and every day as they establish our apple trees and stuff like that. Yep, I'm excited. Those babies need to be in a coop. And then yesterday, we got our first batch of meat birds. We lost two. And then I also got a free bird, and then I got a rooster that is Americana. And it looks like the chicken that's with it is an Americana too. So that, if that's true, that's exciting. So you can get some colorful eggs. The other chickens that I have are all brown egg layers, which I like. So, oh, that's awesome. You got rain yesterday. So hopefully it's on the way here for Sunday. Yeah. It looked like it was going to maybe rain for a little bit yesterday, and then it just didn't. For some reason, it seems like every time it seems like it's going to rain here, we just don't get it. And it's like, really? We need the rain. Um, but the good thing is, my garden is not as yellow. Hi, Tommy. Welcome in, welcome in. Um, our The yellowing that was in my garden, I've corrected it. Working really hard to correct it. Bought the super soil. I don't know if you guys saw that video. We bought a bunch of super soil because we have so many chores and things going on around here that I didn't know if I'd have the time to um, do heavy composting and then still get a garden. I had the garden bug so bad. I needed to get a garden in. And so I'm like, well, why don't we just order that super soil that everybody talks about? And so we ordered it, and guess what? It came in, but uh, it lacked nitrogen. So everything kind of turned yellow, and so I've been battling that. And so I've been adding. I usually do a mix when I fertilize. I do bone meal, blood meal, and maybe a teaspoon of salt. Um, and then I mix that together in water, you know, in a water jug, and then put it in maybe a little fish meal, um, and it works pretty darn good. So yeah, not so super soil. Yeah, not good at all. So, and we were putting in our soil underneath the super soil, thinking we can do that because this is awesome soil and everybody recommends it. And no, didn't have enough compost in it, didn't have enough manure in it, like they said. And since I've did a couple fertilizings of that, and then I also added a bag of compost manure mix on top. Things have improved a lot. I'm seeing, mushrooms come up, and good life in my garden, and really exciting to see what's going on there. So, got my, I'm getting cucumbers, and got my first zucchini. I'm starting to see tomatoes being on. My tomatoes were kind of stunted and not really growing. I usually I've got usually tomatoes up to I started really late too because I didn't know that I was gonna be um, gardening this year at all. It is hard to get your soil right, especially in this Tennessee clay, and I'm sure Purple, you know something about that. It's we have raised beds, 8 raised beds, and then we've got a couple other little things. But I was also watching a little bit of David the Good, and he was talking about um, mulch and mulching your gardens with grass. And I don't have a lot of grass, and so I'm like listening to this, going, I don't have enough grass, David. And so as I was listening to that, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, even if you don't have grass, you could use weeds and you could do, all this stuff. And you just, as long as it's green, get it on your garden. And so that's what I did. I've been mowing our blackberries and some our Bermuda grass and just some of the greens that are coming up. Yes, it does help with tomatoes. It helps with all of that stuff. I I need to. I haven't done the tomatoes yet, but I haven't mowed enough. So tomorrow, if I have any time, I'll mow a little more and put some around the tomatoes because I noticed that I'm also with the super soil struggling with blight a little bit. So that was kind of a bummer too. So um, just anything to enrich the soil. And then, around the whole area that we're going to have garden stuff, I'm just putting down cardboard. And pretty soon here, as soon as they're done, um, as soon as we're done the chicken coop, we are going to go over to where they were harvesting our trees and processing. And there's oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Purple. Um, I've been getting a lot of radishes too. My beans are getting eaten up by rabbits, so I need to deal with that issue. I have put some stuff down, and the rabbits are a little bit better, but it's still a problem. Um, I so the areas where they've been processing the wood, there's a lot of wood chips and just branches and things like that. And then my brother-in-law, this is the kind of one of the things that we're doing, and I don't know if people know this. My brother-in-law bought the property next to us, and what we plan to do with him being living next door is that we're going to be growing animals together because they're just a little bit older than Chris and I, and so we're both living with our mother-in-laws and stuff like that. But they're going to be moving out this way, and so we're going to start growing animals together. So um, all the stuff that we're doing on as far as the fields and stuff like that, we're working as a team, and we're even like planting stuff that will encourage deer, white-tailed deer, and stuff like that, so that we can harvest white-tailed deer for food. On top of um, getting some pigs, raising um, meat birds and stuff like that. I might even probably will get some lavender orphan hens, or my next batch will probably be uh, either those or um, barred rocks, something like that, a real hardy, heavier bird. Hi, B&C Garden. Good. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. Yes, please, everybody hit the thumbs up. And That would be awesome. So we're like when we're working on our pastures, we're also thinking we're putting in food plots and stuff like that, so we can encourage deer to come along. And so we have an option of lots of different meats. We're even thinking about getting a small boat because we're surrounded by rivers, and there's you know lots of opportunity to catch catfish and just different things. And I finally tasted catfish for the first time. It was delicious. So we went to a catfish fry, and it was really good. So excited about that. And hey, Passamaquoddy, good to see you. Please just give me share us out if you could. Um, I'm going to be dropping the link again here soon to see if anybody wants to come up, but I'll wait a little while for that just to get some more people in here. Um, so so next year, hey Glenn, good to see you. So we have the cowpeas in, and then pretty soon we are going to add in the fall. Hey, Barry, good to see you. Um, in the fall, we are putting out pasture grass. And so um, we've learned from the local farmers here that pasture grass is better planted in the fall. So that's what we'll be doing. And um, very, very excited about putting pasture grass in and getting that going. And then next year, um, probably in the fall again, is we'll wait a year for that to kind of come in and grow, and then we'll start to get some animals on it. So so they can start pulling it and dealing with that and just get it all growing really nice. And so, but we've already developed our food plots, and pretty soon here we're going to be putting in, and this is all my brother-in-law's idea. He's the big deer hunter, and literally has been feeding the family with deer. And next week he's going up to Alaska, and he's going to go hunting fishing, and he always brings home. We have salmon all the time, and halibut all the time in our freezer. And so that's very exciting too, because we have a well balanced diet with salmon and halibut and deer. We eat a lot of deer around here. We're finally at a deer burger. So, um, and then, so one of the things, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked a little bit, rabbit trail. I'm kind of known for that. Um, is that we're going to be putting in some areas where we can put in water systems between his trail cam and our trail cam. Um, yeah, yum yum. And we are seeing exactly where the deer are going and where we can hunt them. And so where our food plots, we're planting our food plots in the areas that they would be crossing quite often, and also like water areas for them. We put out salt licks for them. We put out rubs for them. We've also noticed, as we have these cameras up, that we have predators. We finally caught our first. My brother has caught coyotes on his camera, quite a large coyote, but my husband and I caught a coyote on our camera the other day. And so, and it was a scrawny looking thing, and it was daylight. And so that was kind of scary because, daylight. So as you see, um, our chicken coop is going to be real secure. Our fence isn't going to be very high, but we're going to have an electric fence on it during the day. And it's just it's a big box, a very big box, and we'll have our brooders inside our chicken coop, because right now our brooders are outside, um, where I can hear if something approaches. But if something really wanted to get in there, or even just a snake that's not going to make a lot of noise. There's no lights that come on, nothing. They could get them. So we are having, when we build our chicken coop, it's like a big box so that the ducks and the geese can get in really well. The geese are there as a deterrent for large birds that we have in the area. And then the um, ducks are just for fun. I like to use duck water to water my plants, and it just makes a great way to get a lot of nitrogen into the soil very quickly. I can just empty the thing and fill it up again and literally guide the pool towards the garden and not even have to, so it's good to go that way. Um, so we'll be doing 2 rounds of meat birds this year, and then Chris wants to order some next year, some buff orpingtons or some barn rocks, some really heavy birds that can reproduce themselves. Yeah, I mean, my mom, I gave her my ducks, and before I gave her my ducks, they used to have ducks, and when she had ducks, she would water everything just with a jug and once a week water them with that duck water before she changed it every week. And it made for the best fertilizer. I mean, her plants, and my mom's like Mrs. Green Thumb before that, even so beautiful and gorgeous, and everything was huge and just like, just wow. So, um, I wish I could put a duck in, or I put um, a little basin just in there, and the ducks went crazy just having a little bit of water in there a couple days. So I look forward to doing that again and just get. They have a kiddie pool. We'll put in the ground, and they're going to go to town. I do want to get like a smaller um, trough that I can actually put in the ground and like bury a hose underground, and then um, just like have it sprinkle throughout the garden, under the, on the, just in the soil on the ground, um, not directly on the plants. And so um, it will just make some pretty awesome water for the. Yes, yeah, you're repurposing the water. And we're also going to put on some gutters on top of the coop. And we have one of those big totes. Um, and we're going to have the water catch that water and run it into the tote. And so, and then I don't know if you guys have ever heard of hang gear. Chris ordered a bunch of hang gear. We're going to see if we can become associates with them. And we got the feeder and the water, and the feeder for the hang gear thing literally holds 80 pounds of food. So you could leave them for a couple days and they'd be a couple days. You could probably leave them for a week and they'd be fine. So, hey, Ginger Ninja, good to see you. Very good to see you. Um, so that was, really exciting to um, do that. And so we've got this really cool chicken coop that we're building, and then the nesting box. My husband kind of surprised me with all this. He ordered a hang gear nesting box, and in that hang gear nesting box, it's a metal box, and then he ordered the solar system that will raise the um, the nesting. It will raise the bar for nighttime, and so they can't go in there at nighttime and poop in there or, try to raise babies in there or do whatever they want to do. What it will do is it will raise up at night. You can push them out, and it will raise up at night. And it we didn't get a solar door or anything like that. They didn't have any from Hengear left, but um, we were just really excited. And then the nesting box has that angle to it, and so the eggs will just roll backwards into the area where I pick it out on the outside and get the eggs, and they'll be clean. Um, oh, awesome! Um, so um, it's good to see you, Janice. So just all kinds of fun stuff like that. I'm hoping we don't have any weasels. One of the things that we did, I was just thinking of Janice and her birds being attacked by weasels or weasel or something like that. But I think it was during the day because they weren't in the coop or something. But maybe she can tell us about that. One of the issues was we have all kinds of critters here, and so um, and one of them is mice, and hopefully, where you have chickens, you have mice, period. But we have big fields too, so we also have mice. When you work our field, you can totally see the mice running for their lives as we work the fields. Um, so hopefully, plenty of snakes have gotten quite a few of them. But we put under our floor of our chicken coop. So we have the floor, like the square box of the flooring, and before we actually put the wood on the floor, we laid out hardwire. Um, what's that called? Hardware wire. It's the little squares instead of the chicken wire, so that mice can't chew through the bottom of the floor. And just because of the mice problem here, and I'm sure as soon as we get chickens in there and just food, the chicken coop is going to be really tall too. Since we don't have a lot of storage on the homestead, we can store stuff on top of it. And then we're actually going to have an area for brooding chickens that do want to brood. They're because we are going to have roosters that get all broody. We will have an area where we can lock them up, and in the chicken coop that has a door that can open later. And then those baby chicks will become part of the chickens while they're growing up, so they can see the chickens and the chickens can see them. And so there's none of this weird introduction later when you have baby chicks and you're introducing them to a new flock. So that's what we're going to be doing with our brooders. And so hopefully we'll get lots of chickens that go broody on us, and we end up with a bunch of chickens. It's going to be awesome. We are doing probably 3 different videos on it, but after that I might try to put those 3 different videos together and just make a quick one video out of it, for the people that can't sit through 3. We are so excited to have chickens again. I can't tell you. Going to the store, and Piggly Wiggly has a really good price on chicken eggs out here, but it's probably because chicken eggs, everybody has chickens out here. So there's no reason for people to buy eggs in the store. And if they, so I could actually probably buy chicken eggs cheaper here than I could in town. But there's just something about your chickens when they're scratching around and they're getting bugs, and the yolk. If you look at I hope so too. um, if you look at chicken eggs that have been, you know, have room to roam and stuff like that, and they're not all cooped up, and they're kind of like free range, and so they're getting bugs all day and eating all kinds of stuff, um, scraps from your garden and all kinds of good stuff, and all those bugs. Those eggs are so yellow that it makes the store egg look lethargic, and that's really what it is. It's like it has no energy in it. The nutrition in an egg that comes from a grocery store is very poor. If you have to do it, we do it all the time, But I'm so ready to have chickens and do that again. So, but we're trying to do it in a way that if we have chickens that we um, can leave them for a couple days and still have some freedom. So to make it to an event here or there. I don't know if we're going to be making it to any events this year because we've been working so hard on the property. It is. It's so awesome to be in alive again. We've been working so hard that at the end of the day, we didn't have energy for anything. Hello, hello, welcome in. Um, and so, yeah, we are so excited about the things that are going on and just so busy, busy, busy. I was telling Chris, we have to make time. We have to make time. That's awesome. That's awesome too, Purple. Um, we, um, I would go. Hi, Peterson family. Peterson Farms, good to see you. I would go to a couple of the farms, but the one place that I like to go to, they also sell eggs, but it's $4 a cart and a carton, but they also sell plants, and so I'm kind of not allowed because I go and get eggs and I end up with 3 trees. At $40 a pop. So, um, yeah, I have a problem. Just like when you walk by the seed aisle, and you just have to get you always need some seeds, right? Hence why I have this thing up here on my wall. That is a shoe rack. Sorry about my light there. Um, I have a shoe rack, literally, like the old, just cloth ones, and I have them all labeled, and that's how I organize my seeds. Um, Stuff them in the shoe rack, and I just love that because I can it's always open, it's always there. Um, Most of the time, this door's open, not when I'm doing a live, but most of the time, this door's open, so you don't even notice that they're in our office. But I have another one. My husband doesn't know about it, and I can organize more seeds. But I don't know how many of you guys are thinking about fall seeding already. It is really good at work. It's a great way, although it's it seems like it would have enough pockets, but I don't think it does. So I'm going to have to hang up the other one. So, and then you got all your wildflowers and your flowers that you want to plant in the garden. And next year, I want to go flower crazy. I love starting flowers, and I did start some flowers outside, but it's a little bit late in the season when if you start them inside, you can start them in February, like zinnias and things like that. They just start out better. But I think what I have in the ground is going to grow fine. I got a bunch of zinnias and things out there, and they're such a great and easy plant to start if you're thinking about starting um, plants. Start with zinnias because they're just so easy, and um, you just start them when you start the rest of your spring seeds and herbs, and yes, and vegetables, and you got plants that you can put next to all that stuff, and bring in those pollinators. So one of the things I thought I was going to have an issue with was pollinators here. I'm not having one issue with that. I'm actually having more stuff come on than I did in the city. So, and it's hard because I see like they do spray a lot around here. I don't know if you've noticed that purple, but it's really hard to find good soil here or soil amendments here that are organic, or find, because all of it's Miracle Grow, or nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But if your goal is not to go there, then it's great. One of the things I appreciate about here is I've noticed there's a lot of wasps on this property. Most people would be upset about that, but the thing about wasps, last year I had such a hard time with army ants, um, or army worms, and they will take care of worms. They will take care of caterpillars, anything that's like that. They will wasps eat them up. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, exciting!" Because I had noticed before we even started uh, putting in the garden that oh, okay, I understand, Passamaquoddy. Um, that I was noticing a bunch of army worms, and so I was like, oh no, not again like last year, where I was literally, I could turn a leaf over and it seemed like there was 70 on one leaf, and they went after my sweet potatoes really bad. And now, I mean, I guess I'd kind of rather have those guys than what I have right now. I have rabbits all over my sweet potatoes, so that's the issue with the sweet potatoes this year. So um, I can put the link in if anybody wants to come up. Hey, Bushcrafter, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, okay. I didn't know that you could request for them not to spray on your property line. Well, they spray at the main road, um, just because of all the vines and stuff. But I have not seen them spray anywhere out here on our four properties. So that's good to know. Oh, okay. I see that, Bushcrafter. One of the, I've noticed that we're gonna have to do something. If I don't know if anybody has any ideas about, we do have, um, hmm, what are those? Um, I can't think of their names right now. We do have a certain insect that I need to abolish that eats wood. Um, my my property does not border the main road, um, so that's nice about being tucked back. We are a mile and a half off the main road, so um, Termites, yes. We have a termite problem. Big time. Yes. They look like ants and they fly and they bite. Now, am I right? If those are termites, do termites bite? And then we have the grapevine everywhere that I've kept some of it, but I need to abolish that too. So yeah, I don't care for the termites. They're um, as we're working on our project, for some reason they're just going after us, and they seem to be coming from underneath our tiny house, which is mostly wood. So okay, but they look like ants and they fly. So what would they be? Good to see you back. Hey, suburban hillbilly, good to see you. Termites don't bite people. That's what my husband said. Ants do. But if they look like ants and they fly, that's a termite, right? Okay, I'm going to have to look it up then. We do have a lot of ants that fly. See, have a lot of interesting stuff here in Tennessee that I have never seen before. I don't It's moths of all different colors, and I mean these little tiny little blue ones, and I'm like, are you foe or enemy? I don't know. Oh, okay. That's why we have so many colonies around here. That is good to know. Thank you, Suburban Hillbilly. Okay. Maybe I'm so I'll be happy to be wrong and that they're not termites. Be so happy to be wrong. That's one of those things. Um, so we got that going on, and got the deer plots, and we're putting in the water. We harvested so many trees. You can finally see like coming in trees. They harvested a bunch of large walnuts off our property today, and white oak, and so now we can get some of those other trees to start growing, those smaller trees, because the woods were so dense that it needed to be managed, otherwise you just get disease. And so yes, I know they little white ones lay. Yes, exactly. They lay eggs in your cabbage, and then you got cabbage worms and yuck. I know. No, I know that much. I just there's a lot of moths that like little blue ones, you know, and we have um, stuff like that. But the white moths are everywhere and all over the United States, so of course I know what those are. um, but I'm having a lot of fun growing here in Tennessee because the summer is longer and I can grow things here that I couldn't grow in Oregon. So, and the Japanese worm that is in Oregon is in the old neighborhood where we used to live, and a lady that has a YouTube channel from Oregon. Her garden that she was growing in her backyard She's having such problems growing it because of those worms. They eat the roots and they're close to the surface. And so it's like she just pulls back a little bit of her soil. It's covered with worms. And I didn't have that problem when I was there. But I guess in 1 year they can produce so many worms. Oh, they like the manure, huh? That's interesting. See, I don't have a lot of white moths, but I do have a lot of rabbit manure around my garden from wild rabbits. I don't have any rabbits yet, Tien. I would love to get rabbits, but my mother-in-law won't eat them. She says she can't eat Bambi. And I'm like, you won't even notice a difference. I mean, it's just a slight taste difference between chicken and rabbits. What I need to find a place is to, now that we kind of know where our garage and stuff is going, I can put a bed um, behind the house and put some of those garden perennials um, and get them going. I'm really looking forward to some garden perennials like asparagus and stuff like that. To get that kind of stuff up in the garden, and I hope that my roots aren't too old. Yeah. How many rabbits do you have now, Tien? Because that's a lot of manure. Oh, I'm sorry, Passamaquoddy. We we enjoy our deer meat here on the homestead. Our burger meat, we have it mixed with pork fat, and it's really good. 14. Wow. I need to see if I can get my husband to let me have some rabbits because that's instant fertilizer, and we definitely need it here um, with our nitrogen issues. We did get our soil tested, and it's like a 5.5, something like that. Really high in acid, um, and so um, I just plant. That's why we have like wild grapes growing everywhere, wild strawberries, and wild blackberries, of course. Oh, I see. Hello. You gonna say hi to everybody?
Hello, hi. See you later. Good night.
You're going to bed?
Yeah.
So I'm taking the baby?
No,
Oh, you taking the baby?
that's why I'm having him in my hand.
Oh, okay. So I can say goodnight. Norman's still in his little thing, and if his wound doesn't heal up a little more during this weekend, he's going to have to go back to the vet, unfortunately. So, say good night.
Good night. Go to bed, okay?
Okay.
Pasture. You go to bed?
Okay. I love you.
Love you.
Yeah, I actually I know that some of the Tien, you can tell me this. Um, some of the grapevines here will produce fruit. Am I correct? Because I have them all over our property. And if so, I'd like to see if I can get some of them to produce some for us. Oh, okay. Because I have some up against a cattle panel, and I'm going to see what it will do. Maybe if I keep it trimmed down and not go crazy, I can produce some fruit with it. That's good to know. So, I mean, it's exciting to know that you can have these things grow right in your backyard. 9 out of 10 don't. Just one. Uh, okay. Concord grapes, huh? You mean so if I find one that produces some fruit?
You get your pencil right quick. Where'd you want your pencil?
Oh, I got them. They're on my dresser, on my vanity.
Okay. All right, good.
They're all ready to go, so I don't have to make lots of noise.
Okay, good.
Good night. I don't know if you guys heard that. It's like, are you ready for bed? So that when you come to bed, you won't make noise. He would probably stay up and join us, but he is such a early to bed because he wakes up at 4 in the morning. Oh wow, that's really cool, Passamaquoddy. See, I never knew that grapes grew wild. So 9 out of 10 don't. So okay. So hopefully I'll get some grapes. If not, I'll buy some grapes and grow them. But I wonder if you keep them trimmed and so they're not putting too much, um, like they don't want to grow so big. You know what I mean? That they have some control to their growth if they'll produce grapes. Like a lot of things like apple trees, if they're like spending too much time on their growth, then they won't produce fruit. I would just YouTube that Passamaquoddy. Okay. I mean, literally, I can walk 10 feet and there's another grapevine growing. It's crazy. Not as bad as the blackberry, but and then at our rental property that we had, I um, oh wow, they're mixed in the honeysuckle, huh? What does honeysuckle look like? I know we have some on the property because my mom said. Oh, so you must have vining honeysuckle. Is that what you have, Barry? Vining honeysuckle? Yellow, white blooms, yeah. I've seen those on my neighbor's property, not ours. Yeah. You see them close to the ditches around here on people's fences. That's what I've noticed. They do. Great for bees, yeah. I know I'm trying to encourage, I threw out a bunch of wild seeds on our property to mix in with the cowpeas that we're growing on our property right now. So what we did is, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, but we put a bunch of cowpeas on our property to attract deer and also to kind of hold our ground and add some nitrogen in before we plant pasture grass. Oh, okay. Good to see you fishes again. That's good. Mr. Kitty? Who's Mr. Kitty? Oh, wow. Yeah, I know you can buy honeysuckle. Is that something that you purchased or something that was already on the land when you bought it, or um, Janice? It's absolutely gorgeous in what I could see. And then there's many colors and types. Let me see if I can show this. Oh. Here we go. All kinds of different forms of honeysuckle. Japanese common, look at this blue fly honeysuckle. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This one right here is the one that I've seen the most. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but that's the one that we've seen the most around our property. is that honeysuckle that I've heard that too. I've heard that too, that you can grow it and make jelly out of it. Oh, it was on the screen and then it went away. Is it back? Right here, this one? I can't, for some reason, I'm having trouble sharing it. And then, let me see here. Hmm. It's StreamYard has changed some things, and I haven't been around since that. Here it is. So you're talking about this one here? Because that's the one I see mainly. I can't move it or anything, though. Yeah, this is the one that we see, just the yellow with a tiny bit of white in it, but not. Yeah, it does take time to get used to it again, fishes. Yeah, it's awful, really pretty, really pretty. And that's the one thing. And then we have so many wildflowers that just grow in the ditches, and then some um, um, elderberry everywhere. The white elderberry um, is in the ditches everywhere here too. I need to get some cuttings of an elderberry, but the places I've seen them are kind of like a hairy place to try to go, and it's either hairy or muddy. Like it's like, okay, where can I pull over? This is a real convenient place close to my house, but there's like no side road to walk on where it's safe unless I'm in the ditch, and the ditch is muddy. So I guess I gotta just put on those boots and be brave and go get some cuttings. So because I mean, the cuttings this lady down the road sells cuttings, but it's like $20 a pop. And I'm like, I want to start a bunch on my property because I don't have one elderberry on my property. It's like, really? And I have plenty of ditches and stuff that they would love to grow in. And I was thinking if we start a pond to grow that elderberry around my pond would be really beautiful. And, right in the area where it goes. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hollyberry. She's tasty too. Oh no, that's Halle Berry. Oh wow, I see. That's awesome, Janice. Yeah, wow. You have wild elderberry growing in your grapevine. That's interesting. And was that a grapevine you planted, or is that a wild grapevine as well? Holly Berry. I know. I was just kidding. It just kind of, came up. So what do you do? Oh, sweet. So grape juice, right, Janice? Or do you make elderberry juice? That would be awesome. I would love that, Janice. I think. Do I have my phone over here? I'll send you my new address. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. No, I would love cuttings, Janice. That would be so awesome. Even if you charged me for them, I'd be stoked. I'm not that great with cutting, so I'll have to learn how to. Um, I don't know if I have your number anymore. I got a new phone, and I'm not seeing it. Hmm. I don't know what happened to it. I'll shoot you an email, Janice. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll write it down so I don't forget. I swear I had your phone number though. Got my. So how is everybody doing? Does anybody need any prayer or anything? I just want to put that out there because that's something I want to do for our community is kind of keep people in prayer. Um, and um, it's just an awesome thing that we should be lifting each other up. I've noticed sometimes in the community, there's a lot of tearing down of people and um, people thinking, only of themselves and I want to kind of create a community that's a little different than that. And I want to lift each other up and just really love on each other and just see how we can do that. If you guys ever need any prayer for anything, please feel free to email me um, or give me a call or shoot me a message on YouTube or on Facebook. Hey, Storm. How
Hey,
you
Laura.
doing? I would just love to do that. I really want to be a place where we're lifting each other up, and where we can do that. And I've just been thinking about that lately because I don't want to get caught up in this, I don't want to create a group or do anything with a group unless I can really be there to support people. Yeah. Yeah, Janice.
We have enough to deal with in the real world.
Yeah. Yeah, and it seems to bleed over here. And I think a lot of us when we first start on here, it seems really safe and people are very nice. But there's a little bit of a darkness under an undertone, that I think people get lost a little bit.
Let me see if I can turn another light on.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Fishes.
Well, that's a little better. I turned the grow light over towards me.
Are you growing stuff this year?
Mm-hmm. We're
What are you
trying
growing?
to. We're trying to. This soil here is horrible.
Oh, I know. We probably have the same kind of soil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing that everybody that's a professional gardener that I talk to, they're like, compost, 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 create compost, and just keep on layering it up in your garden, and make mounds and mounds of it.
Unfortunately, I started that part too late. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes about a year. To grow to get good compost going, and so, yeah. You can buy bags of it, but you don't have ways to transport it there, so that's hard to work through.
If you hear a lot of racket, the cats are wound up.
Yeah. I swear I need to come over and get some from you.
Please. Oh my God.
If I could
all
talk
three
to
females had babies at the same time, like
Oh my
a few
goodness.
days apart. I was like, oh no.
Any good mousers in there? That's what I need.
Well, they could be. If they picked it up off their mothers, they are.
Mm.
I haven't let them outside because they're still too little, and we have hawks right across the road, a nest,
Mm-hmm.
and they love little animals. So.
I don't know. I really want to go. When is that? The problem is I ordered meat birds. Oh, cute.
This is sucks for good reason.
Yeah. All four, huh?
Mm-hmm. Hi.
September 9th.
Okay.
That might be right in the middle of my meat birds. I don't know. When did I order my next batch, and when are they coming? Let me see. Yeah, my birds are coming 8/28. So hopefully my other ones are gone by then. So that's the 9th. Might work. Might be done with some, and then I can get in between there. They only take 8 weeks to grow out. So the thing is, I plan to move them every day, and do that whole thing. And it's, to enrich our soil around here, get some birds on it. And yeah.
Yeah. Pile up on the couch and go to sleep. Just 1 hour to sleep.
So you don't even know how many you have right now. It's just a bunch, huh?
You didn't bother to count because I knew it would just.
How many
it's not
bags of
something
food are you going through?
Oh, let's not go there. I feel like I just ordered this bag and they're doing good, but babies are eating big cat food now. So
Mm-hmm. Well, at least you're only having to buy one bit of cat food, huh?
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they do get on my nerves just because you take 2 steps back trying to avoid stepping on one. There's another one
Mm-hmm.
right where you think it's safe to step.
Yeah, we have just Norman, and he's always underfoot. So it's
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of crazy. I was just looking at his wound today, and it doesn't seem to be that much better. And he's just had his last day of antibiotics. He had 14 days of antibiotics,
Wow.
and it's still not healed. And I'm just like, it doesn't look green or gross, and it doesn't smell anymore. And it's like gotten a little smaller,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just like, oh, I don't want this dog to lose his leg over this wound. So, and as soon as that cone's off his neck, he starts licking it like crazy. And it's just like, oh my goodness, dog, you are just. And that's how it happened in the first place, is because it was bandaged up and all of that stuff and was healing, but he just started licking it, and then it turned into this massive wound. So.
But now the cone could be like irritating his neck too.
Mm-hmm. So when he sits with me, I take it off him for a while and just rub his neck, and he just is sort of, oh.
Oh, I bet. So far, it seems like beans, corn, radishes,
Mm-hmm.
potatoes, and I'm a little iffy about the squash. I don't know if it's gonna. Something. I have a little garden up at the top of the hill. My neighbor uh, tilled it up, but one of the rocks I pulled out of there.
Oh, I know.
So this is going to be rough, and yeah. So I think a deer has come out and eaten the leaves off of one of my bean plants because it was just a stalk standing there.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
Rabbits
"Oh
will do that
man,
too. That's what the rabbits did to mine. It's
could have
just
been."
just little stalks like this.
Oh, these were still tall. They just
Mm.
didn't have any leaves anymore,
Mm.
and they had the buds on them. They were ready to make
Wow.
beans. It's like, oh, come on.
I know, and I want to put a bunch of beans in mine in the fall. But we have so many beans in the field. You think that they'd go after those first? The cowpeas or beans, cowpeas in the field. So hopefully they'll leave my beans alone. Yeah, I mean, just like and my sweet potatoes too. They just love those sweet potatoes. The rabbits do, and they just munch them, the
Hmm.
leaves. So I've caught them in the act, so I know it's rabbits.
I mean, I haven't seen any rabbits, but doesn't mean that they're not here.
Right.
But we are having a problem with coyotes and a fox.
Oh, okay.
Not foxes, just one fox, and everybody's seen it in their yard.
Mm.
And So we're having to deal with that too, and it kind of bothers me even to let the big cats out, but they seem to take care of themselves pretty well.
Yeah.
But I also have volunteer beans out there as well. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, I'm not going to touch them. Just let it grow. Something I don't recall doing it. Maybe one of the kids did it when they were here, but there was just a big bunch of beans in the flower bed next to my back door.
Oh,
So I was picking them up, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are sprouts. Yeah, there were some sprouting above the dirt.
uh-huh.
And I said, cool. Start sticking them in the
Probably
soil.
after a good rain where they get a little bit of dirt on them. And yeah,
Mhm.
I've seen that before.
So what I did is I put the corn, because my friend up here, Kentucky Goblin, gave me this idea. He said he's going to plant the corn around his beans. So they have something to trellis up.
Right.
He's absolutely right. And so that's what I did. I put corn around
Hey, Caitlin.
where the
I don't
beans are.
I don't think my corn is going to do anything because I planted them. They were 2 in a pack, and I just
Mhm.
planted them that way, thinking that I don't know anything about corn. And now they're like kind of grown up so far, and they've kind of stopped, so they're probably just too close together. But I've tried to grow beans or peas around those because peas grow really well with corn, but
Mhm.
uh, they they keep on getting eaten up too. So
That's what I'm having trouble with is peas.
yeah.
And I'm running out of. I just said, okay, next year it's going to be all raised bed container type gardening because
Hmm.
I'm not going to deal with the soil up there and the wildlife.
Right.
Um, Plus, I think where this land has been let grow wild for so long, it's never been used for anything else. The ground is lacking in a lot of nutrients that it needs. And
Hmm.
I'm thinking, you know, probably calcium,
Right.
nitrogen. You
I have had the better luck with, like, last year I drained a bunch of our soil that was close to the tree line
hmm
by the pines, and that soil did better for me than the actual soil that's right out here in the big clearing. And I think it's just because it's got so much sponge, a lot more topsoil,
Yeah,
and it's got more nutrients from all the different kinds of trees all around. So I'm gonna be taking from all the trees that we've harvested on the property. I'm gonna be taking a lot of that wood chips and stuff like that. And hello, how are you? Um, and checking that out and just adding that like in my garden, not in my garden beds, but actually in the walkways, and let that break down and then add it to my garden. And then I'll put that under the chicken coop or around the chicken coop too, so that the chickens, I'm sure, will be full of bugs for them. And they can dig in that and make a nice spongy layer and just take that out at the end of the year. And um, my brother-in-law has got a chipper that he bought that will do like 6-inch branches. So um, with
that's
this,
awesome.
we'll always have branches that we can put through that
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, I did see some spray on Amazon that's supposed to replace all those nutrients and stuff that you need in your
Hmm.
soil, and it wasn't priced too bad. I can't remember right off hand, but I think it was a few quarts, maybe 2 or 3 quarts. It was in a
Hmm.
spray bottle, I think. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go with what I've got.
I think what I mean, one of the best things I've heard is blood meal, bone meal, and maybe just a little bit of salt. Like a tablespoon or two of
Mhm.
salt. Mix that together and make that your main fertilizer with a little fish emulsion. And fish emulsion is pretty cheap. and you can almost do anything with fish emulsion and grow that,
Yeah.
and just especially with that kind of soil, just spray it or put it in some water and water like every week, 2 weeks, and that should help a lot.
Yeah. Well, now, Kentucky Goblin's got his further back, almost the very, excuse me, right back of his property, but it's
Hmm.
next to a creek. But it's been used every year. So they,
Hmm.
they just retill it every year.
Yeah.
So everything that was left over from last year is tilled into the
Yeah.
soil, and then they just replant, but they don't plant the same thing in the same position as they did
Right.
last year. They do it, you know,
Yeah, that helps a lot too.
random. But I
Yeah, I
told
would.
them, I don't know why you're looking water that far from the house when you got a creek that's got fish and everything else in it.
Hmm.
Have that water right there. You're gonna see your plants, boom.
Yeah.
Excuse me, these allergies are trying to whip me.
I know they're doing it to me too. And then
Plus,
I've been mowing a lot, like the blackberries and stuff, and just adding that as dress, mulch around my garden, and to get some greens on it too. And but I mean, all my stuff was yellowing so bad that it was like bright yellow, and
oh,
so I added um, um, blood meal, a little bit of salt, and bone meal, and then just any other, and then fish emulsion, and then I bought a couple bags. It was pretty cheap, of compost mixed with manure, and put that on, and things greened up pretty quickly.
mhm.
And then it was pretty good. Oh, fishes!
Had to get,
Hello.
had to
Oh
get
my
that baby
goodness!
bit.
Hello, Florida.
Hey, had to get that baby to bed so I could have some time with my girl.
Yeah, good to see you.
Well, with that being said, I'll be right back.
No.
I'm gonna
Oh, I was gonna say, please
call.
don't leave, Barry, my brother.
Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
be right.
Howie, good to see you. Talking about gardens, Howie's in the house.
I know, right?
So yeah, so things have greened up, and I'm excited about my
He's
garden.
the only northern food forest permaculture that like northern food forest that I've trusted for so long. Other people, like, there's certain other ones, like, but some people just use the word so they can get
Yeah,
attention towards their channel, and that part used to drive me crazy.
yeah.
But I know food forest, when I see his polyculture going down, is awesome.
Hmm. Yeah,
He's just got stuff tucked in everywhere.
yeah.
I'm even doing that, like trying to do that in my beds, just to see what happens with planting them dense.
Hmm.
That's been going pretty good. It's just, of course, tomatoes like a little bit more breathing room, it seems
Right.
like. But so far, my Everglades are being okay because they are from here. They're not
Mhm.
the ones that will go bad right away. That's good to see you, girl. I didn't know you were going on tonight.
Yeah, every Friday, I think I'm
You're going to do it now? Okay.
Yeah,
You mentioned you might last time, but I wasn't sure that might meant I'm
right,
doing it. So
right.
that's cool.
I got to talk to my husband a little more about it, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do that.
Mhm.
As long as he's not working, we're
Yeah.
always together. We kind of need the break anyways. Not that things aren't bad or anything. It's just that,
No, but you guys need your individual. That's what I was just
yeah.
talking to my husband about tonight. Like, I need my thing and
Hmm.
you have your stuff, like, because he loves to read. I'm like, you would be so happy just in a corner with a book.
Right,
I'd be happy with people talking about gardening. I said, that
right.
makes me happy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, we need to have that.
yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, Howie.
No, I love Howie's garden and channel, and he's just such a vast knowledge of everything.
Yeah. I'm trying, Howie. I put some Everglades tomatoes next to the basil, even though the basil had bolted, because I always heard those were kind of good together, just to see. But yeah, it does take some time. My Everglades tomato kind of outgrew. I had some banana peppers. Everglades tomato just took off and like overshadowed
Mm-hmm.
them. So it's a good thing I had like a complete row of them along the side of the raised bed.
Right.
Oh, don't cry, Howie. Howie, I still have that lychee that's named after you and my dad because you both have the name Howie. Unfortunately, it is not doing that great. I've thought about air layering it right out of its container and trying to replant it. Oh, happy crying. Good. Oh, good.
That's good.
We want that. But yeah, it's not doing that. I think some of it too is just the bug damage and
Yeah.
they're finicky. There's only certain cultivars that work really well. And I think I grabbed one that doesn't work really well
Mm.
because I was just so excited to get a lychee and get it started. But it also needs to get in the ground. That tree, a lychee wants to be in the ground here.
Mm.
And I haven't gotten my lychee yet.
I don't even know what a lychee is.
Okay, the first time I ever found out about lychee, I was working in an Italian market and it was lychee season. And they were all talking about these lychee things. Let me see if I can get a picture up.
Okay.
It's like they call it's a drupe, which is, it's got a harder outer shell, but the fruit is inside, which is like a grape.
Okay.
So imagine it's kind of skinning a grape. It's like that succulent kind of fruit inside. And just has some floral, like they're each different. Some are sweeter than others. Some have a floral note to them.
Mm.
But yeah, they grow as drupes of berries and they're usually available. It's funny because everybody's like, oh, June is lychee season. I'm like, oh no, they came early last year. Last year we didn't get any, but the year before they came end of May. Sure enough, end of May they showed up.
Mm.
And I was like, darn it, I was right. I don't have any money. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oops, I did what you did. I'm hitting the wrong buttons now. They did change the presets for screen sharing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here. No, that's the air layering knife I was looking at. Okay, there. It should be up for you to share. Those are lychees. See
Okay.
that? It's like as soon as that red bumpy outside, you can pop it with your teeth. You just, and it pops. You pop it off and you have that. And some of them have varying size seeds to the cultivar, but they only are available from like end of May through June. And then that's their season. They're done.
It looks like something from another planet.
They do look like, well, no, rambutan looks like it's from another planet. Have you ever seen those?
Mm-mm.
Hold on. Let me get those. Let me see if I can do it just on the same page. Rambutan is similar. I didn't find them as flavorful as lychees. I don't know if I
Yes, it does look like grapes, hillbilly.
It's kind of thick and radish until I saw the close-up.
There's the rambutan. Tell me what they look like a lychee almost, but they have these hairy things.
They look prickly.
I've actually seen the rambutan. I didn't know that's what they were called. Never tasted.
They seem to survive shipping better than some of the lychees. Well,
they look like a radish on the inside.
They're not like a radish, though. It's not firm. Like it's like a grape.
I know, but the color, you got
color
that rubber, that outer skin is red, and the inside is white.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, Barry. You're right. That would
So
be
where can those grow? I mean, can they grow?
They're more of a tropical plant. Yeah. Rambutan, I think, are popular in India. Let me see if it says. Yeah, can you grow them in the U.S.? Here's a question right here. The rambutan or Nephilim, oh gosh, here we go. Nephilium lapaceum originated, Malaysia. Okay, it's from Malaysia. They can only grow
and above.
Yep,
so not
so
here.
They can grow here. They can grow here. There, if you have a hothouse or a something like that, but you don't have to share it. That was the lychee, so that's what my lychee tree is supposed to produce. it gets growing, but it's really been struggling. Here, I can remove it. There we go. But it's
Can
been
you keep it
struggling.
down back there?
Are you talking to
Oh, these
me or
cats
your
are noisy.
cats?
They're noisy.
The kitty cats are noisy.
They are
I got them a
noisy.
new box, so
Oh, you've only had it. Yeah, they can be too far gone sometimes. It depends if you get them at the store. Yeah, Suburban Hillbilly saying she's had it at a Thai restaurant. But if you were in Thailand, they would be probably fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and farmers' greenhouses in Vancouver. Cool. Yeah, you need a greenhouse for them
Yeah.
for sure if you're not in a zone like mine. But those, and it's mango season started, so yum, yum, and yum.
Yeah. I want to get peaches. I got apples, which apples, we're zone 8, 7 here,
Mhm.
so we can do that.
Yeah,
So we're excited about that. And
only a
then
couple I can do.
I need to get a pear tree again. I miss my pear tree like crazy.
You can grow those Asian pears, which I'm jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Those are delicious. They are so good, so
Yeah.
juicy and crisp, but then it's got that hint of pear
Mm-hmm.
flavor. Mm,
Yeah.
I want an Asian pear now just talking about it. Gonna hit the Asian market maybe this weekend.
Well, I mean, I was just counting my pear butters and my pear jams and stuff, and I was just like, how many do I have left?
Oh,
I'm gonna have to just go to a market and just buy a bunch of pears and make a bunch more.
yeah.
'Cause we
And
do
you're
like-
lucky you have the markets there probably. Ours are different here. Ours are
Yeah.
more tropical, and especially if they're outdoors.
Yeah.
We get the pears and they're usually in our regular, like our Publix, where there's air conditioning and everything, where they can keep them in the cooler and make sure they don't go
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we can get them outside here. Our
I'm trying to
farmers
grow
market.
rice here.
I went to our farmers market here in town, in our little town here, and I'm like, I think I could actually grow here and or present stuff here because of So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking, do I want to go market?
Like market gardening, you have the space for it.
Yeah, I do.
You have the space
And
for it. I know Janice has one of those. I call them like a seed tape dispenser, but it's more complicated than that.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to get one of those, and that would help a market gardener for for real.
Janet, you should come up here and share that information.
Yeah, show those pictures.
We've actually went and learned how to. The farmers market here is not very big, and there's one good gardener there, but the rest are.
I would have thought it would be great with the Amish around. I would.
Well, there is an Amish booth, and they do pretty good, but
Okay.
they have a niche. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you could do beyond that,
That's it. Paper pot transplanter. That's what it's called. The paper pot
transplanter.
It looks pretty complicated when she showed the picture.
Paper.
Suburban, a couple of ours are still pretty good down here. But yeah, it's not like it used to be. Do you have Amish up there, Passamaquoddy? I didn't know. Like, if we could handle the cold, I would definitely move near them, in Lancaster in PA, but we can't. My husband can't handle, like, if it gets 60 degrees, it's just too cold for him. Because he works outdoors.
Brother-in-law is getting a cedar, like a big cedar, for when we do our pasture.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, but it's like a big machine that goes on a big tractor, and I don't know if I want to go that big, but
yeah, I could borrow it and see. You never know.
A walk behind, like Something
Yeah,
like
that's what she has is a walk behind machine.
Mhm.
I think, right, Janice? The paper pot transplanters walk behind.
I think
I would I could do very, very small market gardening, like microgreens.
Mhm.
Asian market also, like their vegetables, I could grow some of theirs. Um, definitely Thai basil, I thought, but then I saw that they keep it in like a drawer and it's really not that much money for the customer. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to make any money selling it to them. I might make money though if I can sell it on like OfferUp, which a lot
Mhm.
of people do. Like they put their mangoes when they have a big bumper crop, they'll be like
Mhm.
$1 per mango, or
Hmm.
yeah, they'll reduce it if they have a huge tree rather than it
Right.
going bad.
Yeah.
Darren's been bringing them home so they count for weight because he's picking them up. They're
Oh, okay. Yeah.
forage mangoes.
Nice.
Yes, one was delicious tonight and I forgot to weigh it. Oh well.
Oops.
Yeah,
Because you ate it.
I was hungry. I was too hungry. I ate half of it and went, oh, oops. I should have just weighed the half and been like, okay, well, can I estimate up a little bit? But I met one of the guys who his father actually grew a lot of the mangoes, like started
Mhm.
growing a lot of the mangoes that we know today here in Florida,
Mm.
the different names and flavors. And he was partly responsible for how they do a specific type of grafting
Mhm.
down here because he had seen similar and then he just started applying it. It was really like so far I haven't even gotten, as you can see, that far into the story. I'm just
Right.
starting.
Yeah.
And he's talking about his dad.
Oh, okay.
And it was interesting because his dad had been drafted into World War II.
Oh, wow.
And he was taking care of his father, who was, they took shifts working the intercoastal waterway bridges. And
Mhm.
he was on his shift, and I guess something was wrong with the engine that helps crank it open for the boats.
Mhm.
So he was hand cranking it. Well, the engine kicked in as he was hand cranking it, and it cranked so fast it like hit him. I guess he was cranking towards himself. It hit him in the head and like took an eye out,
Oh, wow.
crushed part of his skull. Yeah, it was horrible. And this is before World War II, so it's not like they could just go fix him. Oh my
Yay!
gosh, it came up on panel. She's supposed to do that on my panel. You get to break in Janice
That's my
on panel.
Kentucky sister right there.
Mhm.
And that way,
Janice.
How you doing, Janice?
Good. How are y'all?
So tell us about market gardening and how's that go?
Right now, we're not doing it. Like,
Oh, okay.
we're taking this year off. Everything's for us, but because the grocery store we sold to closed. So
oh, yikes.
when we do open it back up, it's going to be like a mobile one
Cool.
or at the end of the driveway.
Oh,
I like
okay.
the idea of the mobile one, though. I think that's a really cool idea if you can move it in different spots, you mean, in your town? Like, we'll be here this such and such date.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Like my driveway.
Oh, no.
I'll buy everything you got.
There you go. That's how you get them there. I'd like you to come out to my driveway. I'll buy everything you have if you don't sell it.
I was also thinking maybe even flowers because we don't have a lot of flower stuff out here. So
Yeah.
that might be nice too. Do a
Who is that?
flower.
That's a channel that does that. They got into cut flowers. I can't think.
Yeah.
Is it Don't Eat the Grass? Is it that one?
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, they got into market flowers, which I was like, ooh, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Malachi.
You'd be doing cut flowers or plants or both.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them?
Cut
Like,
flowers probably.
yeah.
Or I could do some cut flowers along with some vegetables and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or cut flowers and like the plants, like those.
Mm-hmm. There was this one lady there.
Calico.
She had these very sad looking tomatoes, and I'm like, I mean, they were yellow, and she's selling them, and they're like, this big, and it's this time of year. Just, I was just like, mm.
Is that a special cultivar of tomato that you're growing? I don't recognize it.
It's a little nitrogen, yes. But so
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
would be good.
yeah,
Like starts. I thought you meant the tomato itself. You meant this tomato start was yellow. That she
yeah,
was selling?
the
Okay.
little starts. Yeah, she
Oh,
was
dear.
selling the tomato starts,
Poor woman.
and she had a bunch of them, and I'm just like, oh, that would be good to sell starts and like bigger starts, that people
Yeah.
can put in, because a lot of people don't like to grow from seed,
Yeah.
and so I want to build a greenhouse first, though, and I have a design for a greenhouse, and then I've looked in. My husband and I have gone to some soil things and some different things, and how we can get a high tunnel and just different
Nice.
things with So we're figuring it out, working with some of the. Um, we've got a couple of farmers on speed dial,
No, very nice.
so
That's where you start. That is where you start for sure.
yeah,
Find farmers that are willing to share their information and
Mhm.
yeah.
I was
farm-
watching that about it's the classes on soil biology and culturing the soil and all that. It's on YouTube.
Mm,
Soil University. I can't remember what it was, but she came up with the idea. But you just can't speak to other people, but you can watch their courses. Sometimes they put the courses up at it's long past the live or wherever they put the chat room. It's not where you're at. Like they're just broadcasting it on YouTube too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good night, Purple Bear.
So what kind of things have you learned about the clay soil and stuff like that, Janice, out here?
Compost. When you get your animals, make the biggest compost pile you can get and
Yeah.
just put all the waste in there, all the things from the garden. Make it as big as you possibly can get it. We always have 3 different piles at all times.
Okay.
With the clay soil, if you add that, like I add a couple buckets per little plot, and it has broken down the clay so much that it's just like sand when you walk in it. It's soft and fluffy and just really nice. And it's actually where the potatoes are growing at this year, and where it was really fluffy and soft. The potato plants are probably this much higher than elsewhere in that plot. So
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I keep on hearing is just compost. So I'm doing it. It's just, it takes time.
Well, Janice saved money too with soil because of that, with the compost.
Y'all have Mabel, so let her turn your compost.
Yeah.
And it won't be such a big job.
I have a big pile of compost. I have to turn it and start another pile, So, and, of course, we have the baby chicks now. And so we're starting that compost stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Do you let your chickens on your compost pile, Janice, or no? Or to put any in there for them to, okay.
No.
Work it.
We're going to be adding under our chicks or in our chicken area, our yard, we're going to be adding a bunch of the cuttings and wood chips from all the trees that came down. They processed them in like 4 different areas. And so we're going to go and get all that and put that under our chicks too. And then in the walkways of my garden to break down in the walkways because that's supposed to be really nice. David the Good was talking about that, is putting that because this is one of the best things to put in your walkways because it's got so many different things from trees and stuff like that. And then my brother-in-law, he ordered a good chipper, and so we'll chip
Woo!
like branches and up to like 6 inches, you know,
Mhm.
that we can chip down a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
and because it's really hard to get people out here to bring their chips. So
Mm.
not
Yeah.
unless they're in the area working on trees, fallen trees and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
It's probably hard to get a big mulcher too. I'll hold on one of them for
mhm.
bigger than 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid it would break too. I'd rent it and I'd be the one that would break it.
Yeah. Well, we were like, we're gonna rent one, you know, and then it's like we were walking, like they took a bunch of walnuts off our property, and we're like walking in this walnut mulch, just smelling it, and just like, wow,
Mm.
amazing. So
Mm.
got those trees thinned out though. It's so nice to see the light coming into the forest, you
Yeah.
know. So
Oh yeah.
You'll be able to see what's coming out of that forest a little easier too.
mhm.
Like that bobcat. Have you seen it again? Or no?
No. Mm-mm.
Maybe it was
But we
passing.
saw a coyote the next day
Oh,
in the daytime.
oh, daytime?
Mhm. Mhm.
Never heard. I'm not familiar with coyotes. Supposedly we have them out west.
like dusk, you know, which
Yeah, right? That's okay. I thought that, but
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with them.
That's what we thought about. That's what we thought was odd about the fox. It was coming out in the daylight
mm,
by itself. And we
Yeah.
can't really get it to stick around long enough to tell if it's, got rabies.
well,
But we
foxes
hit-
are more lonely characters than coyotes, though.
Yeah, no coyotes run in a pack.
Yeah.
But I don't know about this fox, and it's the only one that anyone has ever seen. It's like gray and red.
Mm,
So
mhm.
it's not. It's a red fox, but it's got some gray mixed into it.
I literally saw one dead on the side of the road. I took a picture of it. It's gray and red, just like that, and it's
Yeah.
a fox, and it was pregnant.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh,
Hey, Josh. We're
Hey,
over on Morris. Glad you found us.
yeah, good to see you, Josh. So yeah, gray and red fox, and same coloring, just little. I was just like, wow, that thing has teeth on it and everything.
mhm.
We have the foxes. We do see those once in a while. I saw one actually in a park
Mm-hmm.
in Boca when Hannah was a little younger. I'm turning off my camera because I'm eating peppermint patties.
Mm.
They're my
Breaking
husband.
up for the class.
Yep.
Let's see
Trying
if
to
I
be
can-
nice. Oh, they'll have no fear and be aggressive. Yikes.
Wait, nope, that's not it.
I think
This-
that's most animals, right? Suburban, they'll just lose all their fear if they have rabies.
This
It's
fox
like that
came
poor
right up on
girl
the
that got
neighbor's.
bit by the. Sorry, go ahead, Barry.
No, I was just going to say it came right up to the neighbor's porch. I mean, it was just about on it.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
What the?
that's a fox.
Oh, I hope something
Well-
didn't take her pups. That she's just laying there like that, wondering where they are.
Yeah,
Like the coyotes.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
But
Probably.
it's by a major street, so it could be a car too.
True.
So
Yeah, there was that one girl. The video was going around.
mhm.
A raccoon ran up and bit her right in the leg as she was going into her, trying to get in her house.
Oh, I saw that.
It was terrifying. I was like,
That
okay, maybe
was.
I don't want to move to the country.
And then the mom was like, rabbit, you know,
Yeah, she
Like,
was trying to grab it and throw
grabbed
it,
it by the back of the neck and was like trying to throw it, and it wouldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
Start biting her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's 60 shots later for both of them, 30 and 30 or something. I forget how many it's up to now for rabies.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Mm-mm. That's
I don't
horrible.
want to find out. Thank you.
Me either. either, because it's like all in your stomach. I think is where they do it.
Yeah, I've
It's
never
frightening.
seen it done, but yeah. You think that they'd find a better way to do these things?
All right, it's been going on a while. You would think so.
Little birds, huh?
Oh wow, Josh said it's 7. Just had a friend go through it. He said,
Oh,
Oh, it's 7 now. Oh, good. It's not like all the ones it used to be. Then it used to be a crazy number.
Janice, have you seen elk over there?
"No, not yet."
Yeah.
I heard that there's supposed to be red, not coyotes, but wolves here in eastern Tennessee, and I'm just like, wolves?
Hmm.
I've seen a wolf one time, and I was with my father-in-law, and we used to raise tobacco,
Mm-hmm.
and we was going through the tobacco patch, and my husband was hunting just over the hill, and he just come right out and just stood there, and I was like, "Oh, look, it's a coyote." He's like, "No, that's a wolf." He's like,
Mm.
"Look how big his mane is and his tail and everything." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "I hope BJ's okay."
Yeah, right. Yikes.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw this video of a wolf that took a guardian livestock dog and was dragging it off into the woods. I was just like, oh, it was so
Oh,
sad.
that's horrible.
Yeah,
Where was that? On what?
on YouTube.
Oh,
I think somebody was trying to make a point of like, yeah, you release these things into the, and now look what happens. I was just
They
like,
have the wolf. What is it? The wolf dog mixes, not the, or was it a wolf coyote? Old Ways was talking about them. They were like a cross species.
yeah, they were
Mm-hmm.
saying that there was one that kind of looked like
Neat.
that on our property that was in between my brothers and our property. It was just
Yeah.
a big coyote, and it's like I wonder if that's a cross
Mm-hmm.
because it's huge. But
Yeah.
they're breeding with dogs too, so some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the pigs. There's a pig that we've caught a couple times. There's 2 of them on the property in between all these properties around here, and one looks like a pig, like a spotted, and the other one looks like a wild, like a classic wild pig. And you're just like, and they're running around together. I'm like, okay, that's lovely.
Don't have moonshine. It's water. I would be so sick. I can only have 3 of these things. Otherwise, I'll get sick.
Be right back. I'm gonna get some water.
No, it's definitely water.
Water and some jelly beans.
Yeah.
I'm right there with your suburban hillbilly. Like, I wouldn't be able to stand there and record that.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been trying to save my dog, whatever.
I don't know, right? I
There's
wonder
been
who
a
recorded
few
that. Like, what
Well,
the
I
heck?
didn't think of grabbing my camera, but it's just in the moment. You just don't think about stuff.
Maybe they didn't have their gun on them. Maybe it was a neighbor. Who knows? That's horrible. I can't imagine. I know they do, like, the coyotes will play games, somebody was telling me, with the animal. They'll send one out, and the one coyote will play a game with the dog and draw them towards the pack in the woods. And that's just so scary to me. I can't imagine. And like, how do you train your dog not to play with another dog? Because that's all it's seeing. It's just another dog that seems friendly. Oh, yikes. Bears? Kaylin? Wow. What type?
So Janice, Was the market gardening hard to get into, or?
No. I mean, the gardening part is different. Like
Mhm.
you're a gardener, we're all gardeners, but when you are selling at a market, you have to make sure you are consistent about every 30 days or every 3 cuttings, you have another thing of lettuce going in, and it has to be in by the time your 3 or 4 cutting of lettuce is ready to cut, and it has to be ready to cut before, it's just, it
It's a
took a
lot
lot
of
of
thinking.
time to
Yeah.
mentally get to the point where I could have it every week for, 10 months out of a year.
Mm-hmm.
But there'd be times where I just totally miss it because middle of winter we would have a warm few days and that lettuce would bolt, or
Mhm.
and then I didn't have that cutting because of the weather.
Yeah.
So you're at the mercy of the weather, even in growing in.
I'm good on step
I know.
down wall.
Oh, yeah? You okay?
Yeah, I got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
But
Not to be
love you
nosy,
all.
I
It's
just wanna
good to
make
see
sure
you
you're all right.
again.
Good to see you too.
Have a good night.
We'll see
You
you
too.
later, maybe, Barry. We'll see. Might do a late
But like
night.
here in Kentucky, we can grow like 3 rounds of cucumbers.
Mhm.
So to stagger those enough to get the maximum fruits off of it,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. It's just
Thinking
trying to
it'll
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of math, it sounds like, which I'm not good at, to make sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because they always say like certain amount of days, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's when your fruit will actually be full, like
Mhm.
pumping out full. That might be
That's why
just
I have certain beds that are just for experiments.
Mhm.
I grow carrots. I started those in November. They're still in the ground right now. Like I'm gonna pick them, but I faked them out.
hmm
They're blooming,
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
so it made me feel, because I planted them while it was still warm, and then
Mhm.
we had that polar vortex come through,
Mhm.
and they survived through it, and they was only like this big.
Wow.
Well, they thought this is their second year now,
Mm.
so they're blooming. So
Mm. Should be sweeter. Or are you saving the seed?
we'll save the seeds, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'll be
you start them in November then?
I did on this bed, just an experiment,
Okay.
but I have other ones growing. They're about that tall now,
Mm.
in a bed right beside them.
Yeah. I have to figure out when's the best time down here to put them in. I put them in when
So
it was
when do you
already
put
too
your
hot.
carrots in?
Hmm?
When do you start your carrots, Janet?
Just whenever I feel like it.
like normally it's just whenever.
Yeah, I'm not the average go by a date
Mhm.
gardener. I just do it whenever, and because we're in zone 6, we're supposed to be in zone 6B or A, but it's on that line of A and B, and some places say
Okay.
we're in 7.
Mhm.
Okay.
But if you put it in the greenhouse or the tunnel, it's one zone higher. So is
Okay.
that 8 or 9 or
Mm.
7 or 9 or 8,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and then if you put it in the greenhouse, which are all raised beds, it's going to be a little cooler, but ours is metal, so it's going to be a little warmer.
Oh my
But the
gosh.
middle ones are cooler because it's wooden beds.
Wow. Yeah.
I
That
always
makes
thought,
sense
oh yes,
though.
I'm getting a greenhouse, I'm going to plant, and it was a total learning curve.
Mm.
Everything I knew went out the window.
Hmm.
Yep. That's just even me bed to bed, my small little beds.
Yeah.
I can't imagine in those large spaces too. And if you get it wrong in larger spaces, it's a lot more costly.
Yeah. And then in larger spaces, even in small spaces, you can have microclimates.
Mm-hmm,
Like
I
these
do.
little like cool spots or these little warm spots or
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
sun hits here all day, but in this corner.
Yeah. And it might be closer to the house if you have a smaller space and it
Mhm,
radiates off the house or it radiates
mhm,
off pavers. That's what happened to me with the radishes. They were
mhm.
sitting on the elevated bed is sitting right on the pavers, and then there's nothing really giving it too much shade but the house itself. So
See, I couldn't grow radishes in Oregon, but here I can grow
yeah.
them like crazy, and the chickens are loving the greens.
Yeah. So
So,
I could grow them earlier. I just put them in too late for the bed that they were in. But if I put them in the bed that's near my house but behind the bananas, they'd have more shade and that bed would be a little cooler.
mhm,
It's funny, I grew the Everglades from seed and the others were all starts, and the Everglades are just beating their butts of
mm,
all the ones that were starts because they went into, I guess, a little bit of a shock when I transplanted them into the
mhm,
bed. And also, the Everglades were used to the soil off the bat, whereas the other ones, there's probably a soil difference for the roots. I don't know, like exactly how that affects the plants, but
right.
I tried to give them all that they needed in the raised beds. We'll see. And then I just fed one of my plants. I can't remember what I fed it, and it's doing great, and I could kick myself because
Mm.
it's finally flowering. It's a Barbados cherry, and I'm like, oh, I got flowers. Oh my gosh, they're like all over it.
Mhm.
What did I do? What did I give it? I don't remember. I know some was worm castings, but I know I didn't. I think I gave it something, and I can't remember which one. I need to do what my dad used to do with his like projects. I need that little clipboard out there with the
Mhm.
pencil. I'd be like,
I
Gabe.
know. See, that's where I really fail at gardening is all those little notes that
Mhm.
people make and
Yeah,
doing all that
me
stuff.
too.
And.
Me too. I was like people who could journal. I was always so jealous. I would lose my journal. I would like start doing it and
Mhm.
try, and then I put the journal down
Oh,
and I couldn't
exactly.
find it.
I mean, like, and then people buy you like nice little books like this, that have like,
Beautiful. And then it
like,
ends up empty, most of it.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Mhm. I can relate.
Hmm.
I can totally relate for sure. But yeah, I have one now that I'm trying to write in, and it was like ripping out some old stuff that was in it. And I'm like, I think I just need to bite the bullet and get a new
Hmm.
book. Malachi messed up my old one, which was a sketchbook slash book for the garden. But that
Hmm.
was like over 10 years ago. I found my old one and then he got into it. He found it too. It's like, okay, Mama might have to get a new journal.
Exactly.
Yeah, grocery list,
Mhm.
Suburban. I lose my grocery list. That's how good I am. If I make
Well,
them.
the only
Yep.
time I put a grocery list together
Hmm.
is my husband makes a grocery list and then he sends it to me.
Yeah.
So,
There now that helps. I mean, with Aaron's better at we all have our things that we're better
mhm.
at. And yeah, he's better at those things like, hey, don't forget and he'll tell me what I did forget.
Yeah.
I,
Just
for some reason, will forget to call about the diapers for Malachi because his is medical need. So Medicaid thankfully helps us with it. And he'll be like, hey, it's about time for the diapers. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's diapers. Good one.
Hmm.
But yeah, I do it sometimes. I remember, but other times I'm so grateful that he remembers those things so well.
Hmm.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, he wouldn't eat if it wasn't for me. He'd be
So
eating.
what is that paper pot spreader thing that?
Oh, the paper pot transplanter.
Oh, yeah.
What it is I have these, they're paper, and you extend them on this thing,
Mhm.
and fill it with soil, and you grow your lettuce and spinach, just whatever you want in there. They have different sizes for different vegetables, different size holes.
Mhm.
And then when they get to where you want to transplant them, you just put them in this thing and you start it. And have y'all ever seen like a tobacco setter to where it like drops the plant in the ground, it covers it, and you just keep going?
Mm-mm.
No,
These
what?
are, yeah. That's what these do.
Does
Is
it do the hole for you too? Like, does it have
yeah,
a
it digs the trench, puts the plant in, fills it back in, and then it keeps going, and it evenly spaces it just perfectly for that plant.
wow? Dang.
Wow.
And it's just paper, and it's supposed to break down and stuff, but I've seen
Yeah.
it in the soil.
Yeah.
It's very handy, yes, but
Mhm.
it's bulky and heavy for me.
Yeah, it looks huge.
Yeah. So I have a tendency of I have this little seeder that I just
Mhm.
have to change whatever seed different hole spacings.
Mhm.
And I put it in the hopper and I just push it along and it does the same thing. I just do that mainly.
Yeah.
Mm.
It just does it with seed instead of starts, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was confusing the seed tape one with that because I forgot it was starts that it puts out and puts down. It's
Hmm.
actual starts.
I need to start the starts and actually do a video and show it, but I
Yeah.
think it is on there. Never Sink Farm. He uses that.
Yeah.
Transplant
Never seen them. Never
years ago.
Seen is their name, and I've never seen that.
Never
Oh,
Sink.
Oh.
SINK.
So
That's what I would probably name my farm in northern Florida because they have all the sinkholes.
do you have better production when you actually use the starts?
No.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, so then might
All
as well
because
use
then they go through the transplant shock.
yeah,
Mhm.
like I was saying with mine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I just, if the weather is like, okay, in January, when I'll use the transplanter because I can start them in a warm location, get them started, get them going, and then put them out in the ground, 2,
Mhm.
3 inches tall, and they do okay. But getting the seeds to germinate in such a temperature in January, February
Mhm.
is a problem. So we can, transplant the transplants then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Bourbon Hillbilly says she have done the walk behind. She's walked behind many miles behind a tobacco setter. Where
Yep.
did we go? My mom and aunt were on the setter, and my uncle drove the tractor. Wow, that's pretty cool. Where to be in that you have that as a memory.
My
Hard work, but it's still kind of cool.
our farmer contact, he grows tobacco
What's
and
up,
corn.
corn-fed?
Hey, corn fed.
What's up, corn-fed life?
Mhm.
Do they still hang the tobacco in the barns in
Mhm.
Tennessee? Or
Yeah.
I know
Those
in
ones.
North Carolina they have some kind of leaf thing that takes the leaf off and they dry it. It's weird. I don't know.
Mhm.
What,
Oh,
like a
how-
machine that does it now?
Yeah.
Wow, everything's machines.
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, they have these like trailers that they connect them, like they hand cut them here. This is what I've seen. I haven't seen the automatic like you're talking about, where they
Mhm.
hand cut them and then clip them to a trailer,
Been trying
and
corn-fed.
then they just back up the trailer to the barn.
Wow. See, when
Corn
we
fed.
was raising it, we had this spear that goes on the stick, and that you had to take the stalk and put it down on this spear to get it to hang on
Mhm.
this stick, and it depended on how big of the plant, the size of the
Mhm.
plant it was,
Mhm.
wouldn't be like how many stalks was on the stick.
Mm.
And then it would stand there in the field until you actually went through there with a wagon, picked it up and threw it on the wagon.
Mhm.
Tobacco was hard.
Mhm. It was a hard, yeah. Hard.
I
Yeah,
heard that tobacco is really hard to start. Like
I don't.
seeds.
They start them here, like in these. I don't have one. It's a foam tray, and it's called a float bed. And you put your dirt in it just like any other tray. Put your
Mhm.
seed in there. Put it on this bed of water.
Oh, okay.
A little greenhouse thing, but it's huge, and that's how they start them.
It's
Hmm.
almost like a soil, like starting like hydroponics has a float bed, but they don't use the soil. They float the bed,
Hmm.
put them in those cups. And
Yeah.
usually it's soilless, but the whole thing is on a float and the water and your nutrients are down below circulating. I've seen that when I was looking at hydroponics. They use almost like those, it's almost like a thick foam core board, and
Mhm.
it's a big square table that they waterproof, and they put the water in, and then they have the foam core on top, cut the holes and put the baskets in. And they usually use the pebbles, or they'll use that
Mhm.
other stuff. I can't think of the name of it, that I don't like the texture of. It's awful.
Right.
I tried to use it. I might even have it behind me actually, because I was going to use it for the cracky method, and I was like, I don't like this stuff. And then my seeds didn't germinate in it. But I found it's better to kind of germinate and then rinse them off and then just use the pebbles. It's this stuff.
But bourbon, we never tied it into bundles. We just
Oh, I've seen that stuff.
Rock wool. That's what it's called. Rock wool.
Mhm.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
That's interesting that they used it with soil.
it's just I don't have it's a foam tray.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of soil in there. And when you go get your starts, you pull them out of there, and the roots are like this long.
Yeah, it is like
Mhm.
hydroponics. I wonder if did they put nutrients in the water below?
Oh, yeah.
Did they put some
Oh,
kind of fertilizer?
probably. Oh yeah, probably.
Hmm. That is.
Oh, it uses insulation too. Lovely. So I'm playing. No wonder why I don't like the feeling of it. Playing with insulation.
Yeah. I've never used it, but I've looked at it and I'm like, oh, I don't like this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not really happy with that.
I had some at the co-op. I was like, oh, what is this stuff? Oh, okay. I've heard of this stuff.
Yeah, I have the pebbles too, the clay pebbles, but I haven't tried those yet. But I've been watching. Of course, I haven't had the time to do the whole setup yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one
We
day.
started a lot of our plants gardening when we started gardening, like the tobacco tray method in the float beds, and that worked great even for vegetable plants.
Mm.
So I wonder if you just make the trays deeper, if you could just grow your lettuce out like that for market.
You kept it watered, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The tobacco trays was like 256, I want to say. That means it has like 256 holes per tray.
Mhm.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it would take so many of those trays for an acre.
Mm.
But for the gardening for our plants, we use like 72s, which had 72 holes per tray.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same size tray, just less holes because they was bigger holes.
Like 4x4 or something like that, or 2x2.
Yeah,
2x2. Yeah.
not big at all. But
Mhm.
Yeah, Howie, I'm thinking more for if we can't grow outside like what they're doing right now with the smoke, and if they start putting things into the atmosphere to where we can't get outside and grow our own stuff.
Mhm.
I want a way to grow inside that we can still have some fresh food and not just Franken food in the future.
Yeah.
like, that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're right. I'd rather, they say too that microbes in the soil have an effect on just how you feel, that they make you happy if you have the right microbiology in your soil. Just digging in it for a little bit, it releases something that does something with our system and helps endorphins be produced besides the work of it and moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of microbiology in the soil going our biology. Makes sense since we're basically made out of soil. At least that's what the Bible says. So
Yeah. From
only
dust
difference
came
between
from
me and
dust.
that plant is the breath of God.
Mhm. Yep.
Has lots of carbon and nutrients. Yeah, good for plants. But I meant forcing people inside, though, Howie. That's what I meant. Forcing us inside. It's hard to be out there in it. That's all. I just think that there might come a day where they're going to be monitoring that a little closer, especially with all those cameras that they can have on floaty things. And that's all I'll say. It's Laura's channel. Yeah, affects your biorhythm. Oh, okay. They were saying it was like a biological reaction, whatever it was that released in the soil.
Mhm.
I don't think it was the mycelium. It was something, maybe it was, that goes through our olfactory and just doesn't.
Well, if you have good, healthy soil, it's
Yeah. Yes,
So your
living
garden
soil
is
will give
doing
you.
good, Laura.
huh?
Your garden is doing better.
It's doing a lot better. Yeah. Some good old fashioned compost and lots of blood meal and it's doing okay. My onions are doing okay. I started them too late, but they're still doing okay. All my greens, except for the rabbit getting in there, everything's going pretty good now. So it's a little bit behind.
Hey. So you got to compost a rabbit yet? Okay.
No, I should put
Haven't
out
caught
some
it.
traps. I should put some traps out. I mean, and then I can make some melon mounds out of
Mm-hmm.
rabbit.
Compost your enemies. Make good
Yeah.
melons and pumpkins.
I do have a cage. I don't know what do rabbits really like that I can put in a cage to catch a rabbit.
Any of your plants.
Yeah. Well, they
Get
seem
one
to
of those
be-
topsy-turvy growers and just
Mhm.
hang it upside down inside.
Yeah. You'd think that they'd leave my garden alone though, because we literally have cowpeas growing in the field. So why don't they just go
Yeah.
after the cowpeas and leave my garden alone?
The rest
You
of
have-
his family's there. They just sent one to see if you'd catch that one. And if it didn't come back, they sent another one. See,
Yeah.
testing it out.
it was
Mhm.
testing.
Try the salad buffet. See if it's any good, Junior.
Oh my goodness.
Run, she's still out here. Let's come back later.
I need to catch this. We have a toad that keeps on hanging out by our back door, and Astro, our dog, got him and like put his mouth on him. Like comes in and he's foaming at the mouth, and we're like, oh, a dog can die within 15 minutes of taking too much toxin from a toad.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
do
rinse
the
the
hose
dog's mouth real
sideways.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
You make sure
wow.
the hose is like this way through their mouth.
Mhm.
You never go this way because
Yeah.
you'll make them
Drown them.
ingest it. We have to deal with that here. It's awful.
Yeah,
How's Astro though? He would just rinsed him out and
he's
stuff.
okay.
Good.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
DY.
terrifying.
America. Nice to meet you.
So,
Yeah, it was terrifying because it was like, I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, look, he's playing with the toad. Oh, look, he's foaming at the mouth. Oh, no. What's this? Google. It's like,
thumbnail to this video. So there'd be high-fiving going on. Oh my. I don't know. I don't think we could do it. Whoop. There's
there we go.
it's the other side. You gotta come over here. Oh, there. Oh, we'll meet. We'll there. Just go below. You can get
There.
Oh my Oh, funny. DIY America. Funny.
I haven't met DY America.
Cornfed, is that one of your channels? They have so many channels. They have,
do
I
they?
think, 4 is what you said. You were working on your 4th Cornfed? Well, they do well with all of them. I think they've
That's
got them all
crazy.
monetized. Yeah, high five Brady Bunch style, exactly. Sorry. Good night, Howie.
Good night, Howie. It was so nice to have you in.
Yeah, it was good. I've been praying for a girls panel. I was just talking to my husband about that. I'm like, you do not understand. It's very hard. And then you
Oh,
came
yeah.
back last week and we got to have a panel and now Janice is popping up.
Mm-hmm.
She had a rough week last week, so
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
yeah. So that's why we couldn't have this already, but I'm glad we're having it now. It's nice to have all the girls together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
My dog got a toad a week of going back and forth from the vet during office hours to emergency vet for Oh my.
Oh,
Yeah, she was
sorry.
fine. Your wallet did not fare well. I bet it didn't, Suburban Hillbilly.
Mine's not faring that great with Norman and the vet visits either.
Your feet are almost, girl. Yeah, you're right. Your feet are. Yeah, I gave Josh. He has the What was it, Josh? I gave your feet a nickname of. I forget. They're like could be a guy or a girl feet. Not that other word with a T, but not at all. Not at all. It wasn't that horrible of a word.
My goodness.
That's why I was like, oh, not that word.
Not that word.
Not that word. But it's the his feet are so like purty. Yeah, you're
Oh,
unisex
really?
feet. You looking at them and you're
Unisex
like,
feet.
even when Robert said that, it's like you're looking at Josh's feet and you're like, am I looking at a man? Can I get excited or is that a man's feet? You should really confuse Robert and just paint your toenails, Josh. Take a
I'm sure you can have one of his daughters do it. Mm-hmm.
And then watch, Robert get all grossed out.
Mm-hmm.
My sensual
Yeah,
ingest.
my feet get so dusty here. I'm like, I have to come in and I bought like a foot wash and that you would buy for like before people go in the pool,
Mhm.
No, this is for my feet before I come in the house because it's so dry here. It's like talcum powder, the soil,
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you guys will probably get rain and then it'll be like mud.
Look at that. That's all dust on my sandal.
Oh, wow.
So gross. It's like I gotta wash my sandals every week.
Caitlin. People's feet are none of my business. I pay attention to my feet alone. That's a good way to live. Safe way to live, Caitlin.
Safe way to live, yes.
Yep. Anyway, Kareen, is it? I think that's how you say his wife's name. Is usually DIY. That is their channel.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, right. You don't know Dusty until you live in Kansas. 20%. Oh, my sinuses could not handle that. 20% dust.
Wow.
I would
I'm
have
putting
to
out the link if anybody else wants to come up.
So the more times you plow a field, the more dust you get, I think.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's 11:30. I didn't realize how late it was.
Were you going to go on?
I'll skip mine tonight. It's okay.
Oh, no, we can go.
All right. No, it's fine.
Oh, you
I
sure?
wasn't sure if I was going to go anyway, and then I thought Robert was going to go, and then you popped up, and then nobody can find Robert, so it all worked out, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Robert was live earlier. I popped in and said hi. I was building a fence.
Oh no. He was? I didn't
He
see him.
was.
It didn't pop up on anything of mine. Uh-oh.
Man, my stuff is not popping up for anybody.
Notifications are very wonky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
they
always
have been
are.
very
Seems like.
wonky. Hold on.
I missed a couple premieres today that I was wanting to watch, and yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome, corn fed. What part of Tennessee do you want to move?
Hold on. What is that? Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Tennessee's got some good people there and some good
Yeah.
land.
I love a Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Let me go pop over because I'm the one who told him to go live because I didn't know you were going live at
Oh,
all. It should
well,
go.
are you?
Actually, I can go in this maybe side chat and support him. I feel terrible.
We could all go over there.
Yeah.
Does everybody want to go support Robert?
Go do like a love raid on Robert.
Yeah.
Okay. We could do that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the link. I feel bad. I'm glad you told me that, Janice. I would have felt terrible if.
So he's on right now still?
Yeah, he's on. I think so. Yeah, it looks like it's still live. Hold on. Let me
Yeah,
make
we
sure.
should go love rate him.
Okay. Copy. Let me make sure it's still. Yeah, it looks like it's still live. It's not. Let me see. Let me just make sure if he's still going to be on.
Mm.
Let me turn my
Okay.
let me go mute just so in case he answers me so I can hear him.
I'm Central Tennessee. Corn fed.
Have you noticed on your property, Laura, like different warmths and coolnesses of different places in your where you're going to be growing it? Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to block a lot of wind. Like our we're going to have a chicken coop on one side of our not that the chicken coop's huge, but and then the tiny house and then the house is kind of blocking some of the wind for the garden because our winds are like we're on top of a ridge, and so that's so yeah. But there's a lot of sun, for most of the day. There's just a tiny bit of period where it is shaded on some of the garden, but which is good, for some parts.
Yep.
So
especially when it gets hot, be good for plants.
Yeah, especially tomatoes sometimes,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
They like the heat, but
He's still live. Some of our people popped over there to love rate him already as soon as you said, let's love rate him.
Oh, okay. Tell them I sent you guys over.
They did. That's how I was like, well, I guess we're love rating already. I didn't even get to just ask the question. I'm going to stay live.
That's awesome.
I'm going to go pop over there and I will see you there or later or.
Yeah. What's the name of his channel again?
Oh, hold on. I grabbed it and then didn't put it in. Hold on.
Homestead Aquarius.
Yeah, it's Homestead Aquarius. Hold on. Let me put it in the chat. Might be a little more adult humor. Maybe.
I'm getting a text from somebody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Here it is.
Everybody go on over and have a good time, and we'll end this live. And thank you for all coming, and God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.